because you hit anybody with this, it gives you enough time to run in, think about. To be honest, it gives you enough time to think about how you want to style on them after you're pretty much gonna kill them.
What is up, y'all? KRCPinto here. Welcome back to Secret Sauce. Continuing our coverage of X-Men Children of the Atom today, I'm joined by BlazedDonuts, the undisputed Omega Red master of Mutant Mayhem. BlazedDonuts, how's it going, dude?
It's going good.
Dude, I love your tag. It's fun to say. BlazedDonuts.
Yeah, it took like 45 minutes to think of back in Xbox 360 days.
I'm a big donut guy, so you're getting me hungry just thinking about it.
For sure.
So Omega Red, one of the undisputed best characters in the game. What appeals to you about Omega Red? I know he can be played like a lot of ways. You know, what brought you to this character?
Rushdown for sure. He's while at the start of when I started playing X-Men Children of the Atom, we didn't know, and I'm saying we because it's a group of people that I started playing this game with. When we started, I immediately gravitated to Omega Red because I think he looks cool. I know a little bit about his backstory, so I thought that was cool. And hey, it turned out that he was like top 2. So he's Rushdown is like insane with this character. That's why I'm drawn to him too.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, we're gonna dig into what makes this character tick, how your playstyle works, and kind of explore why he's top 2. You ready to get started?
For sure.
All right, let's do it. So let's start off in a really simple place. I always like to ask what your elevator pitch for this character is. If you had to describe him in one sentence to sell him to somebody, what would you say?
I'd call Omega Red Rushdown, stylish, and low. What is it? Low ceiling? No, not low ceiling. Low starting floor, high ceiling.
So really clean Rushdown. The combos look sick and easy to get started with.
For sure. He's I would say it's beginner mainly because his combos are extremely easy. The most optimal stuff you're gonna do with him, I'd say it's probably one of the easiest in the entire game. If you're going stylish again, I emphasize style because I just love like showing off, I guess.
You gotta have the flex combos, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like he has so much flex factor. That's literally what he has. Throw combos, resets, rethrows. It's a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, he's the most stylish character. One of the most stylish characters, and Rushdown. That's the biggest thing. Rushdown is like emphasized too.
His he's got the. So I read this on the wiki, which I know is made by the community, but it says he's got one of the easiest infinites in the game, right?
Oh,
is that what
yeah.
you're referring to?
Yeah, he has. I mean, it's just medium punch into all light punches and then reset it.
That's it?
So, yeah, I mean, the reset is literally like you hitting the HK and then you just redo that. For heavy characters, you just gotta press medium punch again and then it launches them and then you do it again.
Love that. All right, what's your favorite move of his and why? It could be a normal, a special, a super, whatever you like best.
So with Omega Red, I would say it has to be 2 because a normal medium punch, that's his best button. Because I mean, look at the hitbox. My other favorite move is obviously Coil. That's like the biggest thing he has. It's meaty. It's a grab that in certain matchups it's really good because counter throwing is a really big thing. If a character has meter, if an opponent has meter and you grab them normally, they can tech out of it. If a counter thrower does that, it becomes a situation where you can get thrown into death. But with the Coil, it goes past that. So counter throwers cannot tech Coils. So in those matchups, he doesn't have a problem like throwing a Coil out because hey, that's his. Once he gets the Coil, you're pretty much dead. Depending.
Damn, that's sick.
It's really ridiculous.
Then you get like the Coils have like a bunch of directional options, right? Like it's a pretty flexible move.
It goes diagonal, horizontal, down, up. Whenever he air dashes, it resets his I don't know what you call it, but it resets him in the air to where you can pretty much infinitely throw coils.
Do you
Like,
get air dash
ridiculous.
back after you do a coil?
Yeah, after you do a coil, he can air dash, which is I don't know why they did that. So you can stay in the air indefinitely, pretty much,
That's pretty wild.
if you wanted to.
And then can he coil on the ground too?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it just like
but
more common in the air? Because you seem to go straight to the jumping ones.
yeah, mainly because if you throw it on the ground, they could just jump over you. There's a thing that he does, where if you right when you press punch and it's out, it retracts back into you. So, like, if you see that they're jumping, you can retract it back into yourself, but it's not gonna recover in time, you know,
Right.
for someone that is actually looking for that. But I guess the recovery of the ground coil is why you wouldn't do it on the ground. But if you're in the air, might as well just do it because the longer you hold the button, I don't even know if it's holding the button. The longer you just let it rock, it stays out, which is nasty because sometimes you have a setup where they'll be on the ground, say like they get smacked up from the middle of the screen. You throw it. If they press anything, any button except for blocking, they're gonna get coiled. So
Jeez.
it creates these weird meaty setups.
Is it like a true command grab or is it a strike grab?
I you would have to explain that to me.
Can it grab a blocking opponent or does it have to have?
No,
like,
it's not like any command grab type thing. It's if you can block that for sure.
Okay, gotcha. Huh. Yeah, that sounds like a badass move. I'm watching like every time you do it, the little pink box of death just shooting across the screen.
That's how long it's active. That little pink box, it's out, it's active. Until it goes right back into you, it's ready to grab you.
Let's start where the game starts. How do you play neutral with Omega Red? I know he's got the coils. My man's full of, is it Carbonadium? Is that what his metal is?
Carbonadium, yes.
Carbonadium
coils.
He's full of Carbonadium coils. He's swinging them around. What do you like to do in neutral with Omega Red?
Neutral is a mix between medium punch because obviously that hitbox is ridiculous. Also, you're throwing his HP fierce. Mainly because look how far that reaches. The hitbox is a little weird at the very end, but you're usually just look at that from almost across the screen. You can hit that HP.
Is that low or is it just low?
No.
Okay.
It'd be ridiculous if it was low.
Yeah, I was about to say that's busted if it's hitting him low.
But yeah, neutral HP, medium punch. Even in the air, you can throw fierce out like HP hard punch.
Dude, that is a huge hitbox. Good God.
All his really good buttons in neutral have a really big hitbox. There's a few things that certain characters could do to like clip you out of stuff, but if you're trading at all, like you're taking a chunk of damage, like you got what, like 20% off of that. But yeah, that's neutral for Omega Red. You're doing that. You're not really throwing coils, yeah. That's how it is.
Are any of those things like, are you getting like conversions off of those, or are you just trying to kind of like whittle away at their health with those moves until they make a mistake?
With hard punch, you can do that. I'm still trying to figure out the Wolverine matchup, right? Like it's ridiculous. Wolverine is definitely the only character that messes Omega Red up. But what you usually can confirm off of is his medium punch. Because I mean, I guess I can get this guy right here. But if you are just whatever, if you get this hit, it leaves them juggling like the entire time. So the hit, what was it called? A hit stun? The hit stun that it leaves them in is enough to where you can just combo it into another medium punch. Another thing that I didn't really explain, which is a big part of Omega Red, is his kick cancel. So his punches can cancel into his kicks. So if you're pressing fierce, right, this button, look at the recovery on that before you're able to jump again.
Right.
right? That's too long. So the fact that you can cancel his punches into kicks, since this light kick is extremely quick, you just constantly do that.
Dude,
so
you can't even tell that he's doing it. It's so fast.
it's ridiculous, yeah.
Good lord.
And like I said, if you hit a stray medium punch, because it also cancels into the crouching. If you hit a stray medium punch, if you cancel that correctly and you're kind of fishing for it, because you're usually always doing that,
Right.
you can immediately just again combo it into the corner. And once you get the corner, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much how you convert off of it. That's the only conversion I would say he has. You can do shenanigans like dashing light punch, but I don't try that. Only because if you mess it up, you're definitely gonna die off of that.
Yeah, this is a punishing game. Definitely a lot of
Exactly.
risk and stuff like that.
You make one mistake, it's over, dude.
So I know you said that you really like to play him as a rushdown character. So when you're doing your neutral game plan, are you trying to kind of stay spaced out and make them do something wrong, or are you trying to move in and like get them blocking as fast as possible?
No, I try to move in and get them blocking. Another thing with Omega Red is his throw is one of the best in the game. There was rumors before we actually had the data that Omega Red's grab box is big, like compared to other characters. It turns out that it's like one of the smaller grab boxes, but the utility of his grab is extremely good. You're gonna want to do the HP fierce grab, but in the air, if you get the grab, you win. If they don't have bar, you win with the grab. I don't know if I don't know how to set it up with training, but I guess I can. Let's see if I can get him to just get stunned and then grab him like that. You see how that like bounces them enough to do anything after?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do just anything after that. He has a really good grab. So if you throw so much things at your opponent, again, rush down style, whatever you want to do, if they want to press a button, they're going to get hit, or it's going to trade, so they're going to take a chunk of damage. If they decide to jump at all, since you're probably pressing fierce, if they decide to jump at all, if that fierce gets close enough to where it becomes a grab, I wouldn't really call it an option select, but yeah, you're getting the grab and you're doing really good after that.
Good deal.
Hmm.
All right, well, let's go ahead and segue into your favorite bit, because I'm interested to see this play out. So let's talk about Omega Red's pressure. This is the part you like. This is, he's known for having some pretty brutal stuff on block. What's the game plan once you get him blocking? How you making him sweat?
I mean, I feel like this game, if you just hold back, it's very bad for you. Okay, so basically what you're doing is you're just swinging on this guy. Like, even though it pushes you out, it's still like they can't really. And another thing is, if they press any button in between, like you doing this, they're getting knocked up, right? So the pressure is, oh damn, I have to constantly hold back, because if I press anything, I'm gonna get infinited into death. So what you can do, you can't. So in this game, you can't run up and keep holding forward and throw. You're just gonna get that, right? So the whole point of pressuring like this and making them like, oh, what is this guy gonna do? Or he's not gonna stop pressuring me, right? You just run up and then immediately hold back and grab. You just, I guess you can do like that. So yeah, you just constantly like go crazy on your opponent. It's not insane. Again, I don't know. I don't play against very many Omega Reds, so I don't know what people are thinking when I'm pressuring them. But yeah, a lot of rounds get ended with me doing the pressure and then again, run up, grab. If they tech it, there's a thing in this game where you can pretty much grab them after the tech. In a weird way, I don't know if you know too much about the very specifics and higher level of this game, but sometimes when you grab and they tech, before they hit the ground or right when they hit the ground, you can basically re-grab them, like pick them up off the ground. It's a really messed up like thing that CotA has, but this, I feel like this game is mainly neutral. When you go into pressure, you don't want to get grabbed. Again, like grabbing, that's it. If you don't have meter, or sometimes if you do have meter, you get into this like grab war with your opponent where, hey, if they're a second too early or a second too late, they get grabbed, and then it just gets spun right back onto you. Like, oh, now I'm in the position to get like rethrown and death. So
yeah, and it definitely seems like you don't want to be
thrown
dealing with that against Omega.
Oh, and I didn't even mention. So yeah, we got the medium punch thing right here. So he in this game you can cancel your normals into super jumps. So I think no. Okay, so I was thinking he was the only one with the air dash. Storm has an air dash. But yeah, you can just go crazy with certain things. Like just keep the pressure on like that. Crazy stuff.
Okay, here's a little bit of an unintuitive question, but I'm just so curious because this character's obviously really good. How do people get out of this when you're doing it? Like, does anything like beat this kind of pressure? Like, is it just like a ballsy button in the middle of it? What's the wave?
So Cyclops specifically, I have a lot of matchup experience against Cyclops because Jay Destroyer plays him. If you know anything about like the CotA stuff, Josh, Chance, which I think his name is Chance Kun on Fightcade, they play Cyclops, so I've had years of experience against it. Chance is probably one of the best Cyclops players out of everybody. Shout outs to Big Nasty also, he's a really good player. But HK, roundhouse kick is probably their like, oh, get out of jail free button. If I do HP in the air, I don't know what the HK. Do I have it set up here somewhere? Yeah, look at that. That has the hitbox on that is probably outranging this one. So if I'm pressuring them and I don't know, I press the button out of turn, I guess you can say. An HK is coming, it does enough hit stun, or stun on hit, I guess, that he also has a cancel where he can cancel his the recovery of his kick. So he just does that, he can dash, do it again, cancel, dash, do it again, cancel, carry you across the screen and you're dead. So for other characters, there's some buttons that you can do, but a lot of characters can't really deal with crazy pressure, or they just have to hold that and like find a little crack in the pressure. So
the pressure is a little more like fear based than being like true stringing a bunch of crazy stuff then.
Yeah. Also the fear base is like, again, if you're blocking and you're like, oh, I don't know if I press a button, and then you decide to press a button in the wrong timing, you're gonna get hit. You gotta just, it takes time to know what to press after. But yeah, I'd say that there's cracks in it. I think every character in this game has some sort of crack into their pressure. I think that's any game, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a constant, like you're not sitting there in block stun for seconds at a time, unless at least I don't think so. Like even the like medium punch into instant air dash would, if he saw that coming, just HK and then carry me to the corner.
Let's talk about knockdown situations. I've done an episode on Cyclops already, and we mostly talked about OTG options. Mm-hmm. So we can talk about that, or if you have anything in the way of Okazeme, we can cover that as well. This would be the time to do that. So what do you tend to do when people get knocked down from what you're doing?
So I do that. So what were we doing to make him not block? There we go. Okay. So if you're on the, I guess I can do it with with medium punch because he throws you across the screen. So in the situation where something like that, see how like long that stays out?
Yeah.
If you hit them or in any sort of way they're knocked down and you're able to have anything to do after that, you would do the coil. And again, if they are pressing buttons, try to roll in any way, they're gonna get, if they're not blocking, they're gonna get coiled.
Coil catches roll?
I'm thinking it does, to be honest, because a lot of people don't roll out of it unless I can't really think of a situation that they would. OTG, anything on wake up, you're probably gonna take a fierce to the face or to the legs, I guess, since you're laying on the ground. You could do like light kicks. It's not really anything too big on wake up. You're just, again, hoping that they roll back. If they press a button, you're probably going to be throwing out medium punch. So again, press a button, that's it. That's full combo.
If they so let's say you do that knockdown situation where you throw the coil out and they do the right thing and stand up and block, do you get like enough blocks on off of that to come in and start your pressure again? Or is it kind of back to a neutral scenario? It
kind of resets the neutral, but yeah, it's, so I guess when you're throwing the coil like this from across the screen and they block it, that's when you just cancel it again. And if they jump, you do it forward. You can even just dash and do HK into coil again. If they get hit by the HK and you throw the coil, they're grabbed after that. He has so much options to do damage from anywhere on the screen.
Let's talk about the coil follow-ups, because coil has a lot of stuff you can do from it, right? Mm-hmm. So you get 2 drain options, the throw option either direction, and then there's also the retraction option, right? Is that everything?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the drains. You know, you can drain health or you can drain meter.
Yes.
Pretty unique to be able to drain some meter. Is that something you ever opt for?
So I don't do it very often. It's mainly, you're pretty much going to do the health drain all the time. The very rare scenarios that you would do meter drain, I would say, is in matchups with counter throwers, because counter throwers, once they hit the orange meter or halfway, they can counter a throw, so they're able to counter throw you. So if you're playing against like an Iceman, Colossus, Sentinel, or Psylocke, you're throwing the coil out because they can't tech it. If you do it right, I didn't explain that at a certain height, if you coil somebody, there's this weird, I guess it's a mechanic that when you can throw them all directions, right? You can throw them back. I think you can throw them down. You can throw them down. You can throw up. So that is a thing, right? You can do it anywhere. But if you're at a certain height and you throw them down, forward down, they do that little bounce, which it's the most ridiculous thing that they could have given Omega Red, because you hit anybody with this, it gives you enough time to run in, think about, to be honest, it gives you enough time to think about how you want to style on them after you're just pretty much going to kill them. So it's like, oh, well, what am I going to follow this up with? What combo am I going to do after this? But yeah, if he's too close to the ground, he just smacks him on the ground. But if he's in the air, it'll bounce. And then he only has to do HP into Omega Strike, light kick, like light Omega Strike, I guess you could say. And you're stunned. So it gets another follow-up after that. So in this game, you can do 2 throws, and if you try to throw again, like if there's a situation where you could throw within that combo, it'll just whiff. Like the throw will not come out. It's just a maximum 2 throws in this game. Since the throw amounts reset on stun, what you usually want to do is, if you coil somebody, you drain health. So another thing is that people can wiggle out of the health drain or the coil, I guess you could say.
Ah.
If you mash like really quick, you can break out of coil. Lots of people don't know that. I guess you're gonna have a bunch of people, if they watch this, they're gonna be like, oh well, now I know. But
That's the goal.
yeah, for sure, to teach everybody. But yeah, you can break out of it. So if my thing is like adapting, right? If I know that you're gonna do that now I'm not gonna let that happen. So you just do that. You throw. You can, since Cyclops has a longer floor, like OTG timing that he stays on the floor. You can get another coil in sometimes. So the maximum number of coils you want to do before stun is obviously 2, because it counts as a throw. So once you do that, you stun them, which automatic stun that you can do off of just 2 throws, and then you just reset that situation to where you do combo, you health drain, and then you toss. I guess I could do it right here. You toss them into the corner. Let's see. And then he gets stunned again. Then you can do that again. And then you can just flex by just throwing regular. And I don't think health drain scales. So your combo will be doing no damage, right? Like if you do a long combo and you're doing normals and stuff in the air,
right
when you hit them with coil and you drain, it just unscaled damage or the health goes down.
That's kind of crazy.
So trying to get the maximum of 4 coils, you're draining at, I would say, like 40 to 50% health, depending on if you're like mashing like the punches really, really quick. But yeah, he gets a lot off of his coils. It's a really good thing for Omega Red.
Let's talk about the least fun part. So it's a fighting game. Sometimes you gotta block. How is Omega Red on defense? Does he have anything unique about him that helps him out? Does he have any like good Abare buttons, any reversals or anything like that? What can he do when it's time for you to hold down the forward and block?
You don't want to be put in a situation where you're blocking. Not that he doesn't have options for it. It's just I don't see that Omega Red should be blocking. I guess that's just me playing.
You did something wrong if you're blocking.
Not really, but you just want to be throwing stuff and rushing people down. At least that's the way I think about it. But if I'm blocking and I see you jumping, or you're trying to do something like low me, you're trying to jump at me, or trying to like empty jump low, which is not a big thing in CotA, but hey, you can catch people like slipping on that. But if you're jumping on me and I know that you're pressing certain buttons, either he has the lowest crouch in the game, right? Like that's one of, I guess you could say Wolverine might have another low crouch. But if someone's jumping at me or pressuring me in the corner, I'm just gonna try to hit him with the medium punch. So if you're in the air trying to throw a normal at me, my medium punch is probably gonna hit you. And the fact that like I kind of go under,
yeah,
it's a really good button. This button is good too because it hits pretty decent in the air.
Is that
everything?
2
everything
HP?
can pretty. That's 2 MP.
2 MP. Okay.
Yeah. Another thing is that he could obviously go into Omega Strike. I guess I didn't explain Omega Strike. This is also another good thing. I don't really use the recoil on this enough, but whatever. So yeah, if you smack somebody, especially a heavy character, in the air with either 2 MP or just standing MP, you infinite them with Omega Strike, cancel that Omega Strike, cancel, and you just keep going to the corner. But yeah, he has a pretty decent options for coming out of block, which is again mainly medium punch. MK is actually a good button for him. I don't use it enough, but this is a very get off of me button if someone's kind of trying to pressure you in the corner. It's really quick, so if it trades, you get smacked, right, and then they get pushed across the screen, so it creates a situation where you could return to neutral. So I would say that's his block stuff. And if they jump in the air or if they're pressuring you somehow and there's a little crack, you can do a fierce grab, and that's it too.
Do you want to talk about Omega Strike some, since we kind of glossed over that?
Yeah. So Omega Strike, it goes up, it goes diagonal, it goes horizontal. You can let it rock. You go all across the screen. All across the screen. You're never really gonna do the up one unless you're playing a character that is all over the screen, like Storm. But another thing is he can cancel it wherever, like right when he lifts off, he can just cancel it. So that's another good thing. He can retract it. So if you hold back and press kick again, he'll come back. So that's a really good option. I don't use that enough, I guess I could say. I don't really use this because sometimes if you get the hit, you don't really want to be pulled farther away from them.
Right.
Another thing that this does is that I think Cyclops has an option for it, but other characters, if they don't have double jumps, this is also something that I feel like we need to learn more about, but that'll come when we just play CotA more. Is that off of this, that puts you in a situation where that can happen. Like, it's basically you recover in the air and you become throwable, right? If you press, if a character that doesn't have a really good button to press out of like air recovery presses a button, the grab for Omega Red will come out. So let's see if I can get this without stunning it. Like that. So it becomes this situation where if you hit the horizontal one and cancel it, you can get the grab, and that's again game. The upward ones, that's not really a big thing. Against super heavy characters, you're gonna want to do this one because if you pop that, you just do medium punch in the air. It'll suspend them in the air for a little bit. Then you press medium punch on the ground into again the coil or the Mega Strike. Yeah, the up one is probably the worst one, but hey, it's only situational.
Yeah, you run under the flying sentinel with it and just try and peg him.
Yeah, you're just trying to smack somebody, but I don't think you really have any follow up after that. For the light one and the medium one, the diagonal and horizontal, you get more options off of that. Omega Destroyer, that's probably an extremely good super. I don't think that there's anything really to brush up on Omega Destroyer. It's literally just fat damage, fat chip. So you kind of don't just want to be throwing out supers, obviously, in this game, just to chip out. But yeah, I guess I can have him block and we'll see. Yeah, so that's a pretty decent chunk in this game.
That's huge.
To be like,
good God.
Yeah. So if you do something where you're just comboing them until they're almost dead, and then you do super. I mean, you're not just gonna be not even a meter. You're not just gonna be tossing that out. But you know, Omega Destroyer, it's a good super.
Fair enough. It's a little slower on the startup, right? So a little risky to just kind of throw out.
Yeah, someone could definitely clip you if they're like, if you got meter and they're like, yo, this guy's gonna do something, and then they see a pause, they'll just run in kick you into death. I think there is there's invincible frames either on right when the coils come out or just before the coils. But other than that, yeah, you're probably gonna get clipped if they're looking for it.
I want to see your sauciest Omega Red combo. Your favorite combo, the one that's near and dear to your heart. Let me see what you can do with this guy.
There could be specific things like I always do training mode against Cyclops, so I kind of do a bunch of stuff. He just throws. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Every time I take a break from this game, I end up coming back and finding something else. Let's get him to get stunned.
Isn't it crazy that you can do that with a game this old?
What? Just practice it and find new stuff?
Yeah, keep finding new stuff. You take a break, you come back, you find something new. It's wild.
Yeah, you do some crazy stuff, and then you can do nutty, infinites.
Floor break.
Yeah. There was this one specific one I figured out that Oh man, it was this. I was practicing it like weeks ago, but it's let me see if I can get it. I don't know if it's in this corner though, because in the right corner, super heavy characters will get. Let's see. See how I like landed up on the other side?
Dude, if this game was more reset heavy, this character would be a god at it. It looks like you're doing just like brutal stuff with the way Omega Strike works, like being able to like cross them up and land on the other side and just go low instantly. Like, good lord.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah, so yeah, and then that's a stun. There's a weird situations where you can like reset. I mean, if you want to be boring, you can just. This isn't even boring. It's just like, damn, that sucks for whoever picked Colossus, and then you're just like, oh, let me just pick you back up, and then keep doing it. Yeah. And then you can do like really saucy stuff.
Is that IAD's air buttons in there?
Yeah. Although you probably can't see because it's a bunch of moving symbols. It's like against a HK. Let's see. And then you can just again your imagination is pretty much like your limitation on this character. So again, the starting point of this character is super low for anybody to just jump in and hey, I wanna try to learn Omega Red. You can. The funny thing is the optimal stuff is probably his easiest stuff because again, you're just all you want to do is stun, which all you have to do is stun is just dash HP into that, and then if they press it, I'm surprised he didn't get stunned like that, but usually that's what happened. So we just do that. No, I wonder why it's not doing it, but it's a lot of. Another thing that he has is you can just that. So again, when you're out of how could you say this? I guess I don't know what you would call this, like recovery. Like you see how he just bounces and he's still not able to do anything. Right. So if you do that, you can grab him. So like what? So on a throw you can end games really quick. So if you just want to be kind of mean, you just hey, and then you just go in, and then if they press a button, they get grabbed. Hey, you press, and then you get stunned again, and then you're just like, hey, let me just do that to you again.
Dude, that's brutal.
Stupid. It's crazy, yeah. But I love this character. This character is awesome. And see how he's like almost stunned? This is when you would just throw him again just to get that extra damage, and boom, oh, he gets stunned. You go into HP Omega Strike. So a lot of the stuff you just want to try to at least get both your throws in before they get stunned. That's the biggest thing that I try to do to get the most damage and to like kill the quickest, because like I gotta be doing this weird freestyle combo for like ever, you know, and then, oh, and then he gets re-stunned because that sucks for him. If I can get it. I can't get it. And yeah, certain characters have long OTG like when they're on the ground, and you just run in and do that. So there's a lot of situational stuff that happens in this game, so there might be a lot of stuff I missed with this character, but hey, the whole point I guess is to like entry level of this character and the way I play him. So I'm always pressing buttons. So I love pressing buttons. That's the downfall of the Cyclops and Wolverine matchup. But hey, if I'm like, okay, now you're gonna press buttons, then I guess I'll just stop, and then I'll wait for you to do something and just throw more coils. That's the better option.
Fair enough, man. Well, Omega Red. Yeah. Don't get grabbed.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
That's crazy, man. All right, dude. Well, we're at the end here. We've made it. So appreciate you for taking the time to do this, walking me through brutal character who I literally never want to fight in my entire life. It's like
Yeah, he's a
bad time.
pain.
I would get grab reset every single time. There's just no way. But yeah, man. That was sick. Thank you.
Thank you.